So I'm going to stabilize at the head. Alex and Mo interlock their hands. Make sure that the arm is against the body. And then I have my hands like crisscross, so when I turn the head, that they'll be normal. Okay. So when I say 3, I'm going to have you guys roll up. So roll on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then down on 3. 1, 2, 3, down. And then I'm going to administer the C collar. So same thing again, rolling up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then down on 3. 1, 2, 3, down. Okay, so we're gonna, to situate him completely onto the spine board, we're gonna push up to my left. So I'm gonna push on 3. 1, 2, 3, push. Okay. So now, continue to stabilize the head. So making sure everybody is in the same position. Gonna lift on 3. So 1, 2, 3, lift. And then you're in a circle.
Rachel, person at the point, instructs additional help to perform 6-person lift on 3 as she is stabilizing C-spine. Group lifts patient up on Rachel's command and the board is slid underneath the patient. Group then slowly sets the patient down on the board once Rachel gives the command to do so. Rachel continues to stabilize as Bree, Kara, Daniela, and Kayla begin to administer the spider strap. Matt and I prepare cervical stabilization blocks. Matt and I begin to insert and lock in cervical blocks. Once blocks are in place, Rachel is relieved of C-spine stabilization. Once in place, Rachel, Matt, and I apply final straps to further lock the head in place for complete C-spine stabilization. When ready, Rachel instructs all to help lift the spine board and remove the patient from the playing field.
stabilizing C-spine. When we have a patient with a neck injury, we remove any clothing covering the pads. So we cut off a jersey, remove that. Next thing we would do is to cut the laces out of the pads. Open that up. You can also cut the straps of the pads or undo them. So go ahead and undo them. Remove the face mask. All the screws are out and removed. We remove the face mask from the helmet. Next thing will be the chin strap, so go ahead and carefully remove the chin strap. Once face mask and chin strap are off, use, if you have it, a simple tongue depressor to try and pry out the earpieces. Everything's removed. I then position myself, take hold of the subject's face. I would then take control of C-spine at that point. Once we pick him up, I'll instruct all my additional help to lift him at the same time as I do it. Count down by 1, 2, 3. So on 3, we're going to pick him up. Okay? And once we lift him up, Daniela will remove the helmet pad. On 3, we go up to 1. I'm not going to go up yet, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3 down. And then Daniela will continue to stabilize these spine.
So person number one's gonna immobilize the head the whole time. I'm gonna measure the distance between the bottom of her jaw to her shoulder or her clavicle. So 4. And then I wanna make sure that 4 is covered on here. So make sure the red dot is in the right position and lock it. I'm gonna slide the back in. And this person's gonna immobilize the whole time.
When applying an oral pharyngeal airway, the clinician applies gloves and then selects the proper size based on the patient's face. They measure from the corner of the mouth to the angle of the jawbone. The clinician then inserts the airway into the mouth along the hard palate, and then you will feel when it drops off from the hard palate to the soft palate. At that point, you turn the airway down. When applying a nasopharyngeal airway, the clinician will apply gloves, select the proper airway by measuring the patient's from the bottom of the nose to the angle of the jaw. The clinician will now apply lubrication to the airway and then insert the airway into the patient's nasal cavity.